Hi, this is Trent with Road Assist here, Prime Incorporated, and today I wanted to go over several things with you regarding driving in the cold. The first and probably the most important thing that you need to make sure you've got on your tractor is anti-gel. If you don't have anti-gel in your tanks, when it gets really cold, below 20 degrees, we start seeing fuel gel up if it hasn't been treated at all. If you don't treat that fuel, then it's going to be very, very costly, thousands of dollars. So I've made another video. Please go watch this other video that I filmed on anti-gel. If you don't understand how anti-gel works or you don't know the steps on using it, watch that video and make sure you've got a good understanding on anti-gel. You want to get this stuff at the terminal. I'm not going to go over the pricing, but it's much, much, much cheaper to get at a terminal than it will be anywhere else over the road. Next, I'm going to talk about jumper cables and jump starting your tractor. We have no control over when the batteries die. That's something that's going to happen on your tractor at some point, and if you're not prepared for it, it's going to be really expensive. We're going to have to do road service. Average road service now starts at about $400, and it goes up from there. So if you're in New York City on a Saturday night, it's going to be probably a couple $1,000s to get somebody out to help you. The cold is going to be the hardest thing on your batteries. They're harder to jumpstart when it gets cold out, and if your batteries are starting to die out, they're going to die faster when it's cold. Most of us in this company drive reefer. If you have a reefer trailer, you can jumpstart your tractor off the reefer as long as you got jumper cables. If you don't have any jumper cables on your truck, then we're going to be doing the road service, and it's going to be really costly for you. So make sure you've got some jumper cables on the tractor. I've made another video on jump starting your tractor off the reefer, so make sure and go watch that video if you don't know how to do it. Something else that tanker, flatbed, or our bobtail reefer trucks might need, if your batteries are dead on your tractor, there's nobody around to help you get it jump started, your APU won't start, there's another solution that you can get to have it on your truck. It's a jump pack. I found one on Amazon now. The last 3 or 4 years, this technology has progressed amazingly fast. You need to search for a jump pack that is large enough to actually start the truck up. The verbiage that I have latched onto when I'm looking for these, that is capable of cranking a 12-liter, at least a 12-liter diesel engine. Most of our trucks have 15-liter diesel engines, but if it's capable of starting a 12-liter diesel, it'll start a 15-liter diesel just fine. So look for that when you're searching for a jump pack. Go on Amazon, go to Harbor Freight, or go over wherever you want. Next, I'm going to talk about your windshield wipers. Snow and ice, don't do any favors for your windshield wipers. Get windshield wipers as you're coming into the winter that are designed for snow and ice. That'll help keep them from going bad a little bit longer. New product out there that I've been hearing about, and I haven't tested it, and I don't have a lot of knowledge on it, but they do make heated wiper blades now, and I'm pretty excited about that. I used to drive out there, and I sure wish they had a heated wiper blade when I was out there on driving. So look into it. I don't have a lot of knowledge on it, but I think it would be worth something looking into. Up next, I'm going to go over tire chains. You know, tire chains are required in several states this time of year. Starting September 1st, they're required in Colorado. So if you go into the state of Colorado and you don't have chains on your truck with you, you're not legal. You're going to get written up. You could get put out of service, and we're going to have to buy chains to continue on, which is going to be expensive. Buying chains somewhere when we're under the gun, forced to make the purchase, can be really, really expensive. So make sure you've got the required amount of chains on your tractor. We've got a lot of literature out there in the company on what chains you need on the truck. So make sure you've got those equipped. You can also get auto socks or cables. Those are both fine if you want to save the weight. Next up, I'm going to go over draining the air tanks. So draining air tanks is vital in the wintertime because there's water in the tank and it's going to freeze. If we don't get that water out of the tank, it's going to start causing issues on your brakes. Additionally, on newer tractors now, we've got automatic transmissions, and if water gets into that transmission, it's gonna be a nightmare for us. But specifically with winter driving, it's a big deal to make sure you're draining those air tanks out to keep that water out of your airlines. I made another video on draining your air tanks, so if you don't know how to do this, please watch that video, or just get with somebody in the tractor shop and have them show you how to drain your air tanks. Kitty litter. So, you know, you're in a truck stop somewhere, you can't get out of the truck stop because you're spinning your wheels. Get some kitty litter, throw it under the wheels, and that'll give you some traction. Also, a heavy sledge. We get a decent sledgehammer. You're using this to break your brakes free when they get frozen up. Drum brakes are really the issue here that we need the sledge for. Disc brakes, you usually don't have to whack on. Disc brakes will just break free. You just pull back and forth, and usually they'll break free. But if you freeze your drum brakes up, if water gets in those brakes and you have them set all night long, those pads are going to freeze onto your drum. And there's a lot of surface area there. It's going to be really difficult to break that free. You're going to have to get that sledgehammer and go around to all the drums and whack on those drums, the actual drums, with the sledgehammer to break it free. It's going to take some work. It'll be some elbow grease that you'll have to put into it, but that's the process for breaking your brakes free when they get frozen up. You also want a product called airline antifreeze. If you don't have airline antifreeze, you can also use rubbing alcohol, but we don't like rubbing alcohol as much because it dries out rubber. So get airline antifreeze. This product is designed for the airlines. It won't damage the rubber as much, and it will de-ice any frozen water that may be building up in your airline. So if you fail to drain your air tanks and your brakes are frozen up and you've got water in your airlines, you can get this airline antifreeze to get out of that situation. Last but not least, on things that you need for your truck, get some deicer, a key deicer. Have it somewhere on your truck where you can access it easily if you get locked out of your truck and that keyhole gets frozen up. You want to have something that you can spray in there really fast to de-ice all that ice in there so you can unlock your tractor okay. We have a package here at the terminal that we'll do on your tractor and prep it for the winter. So we go over several things. First thing, we look at the batteries. We load test the batteries and make sure that they're not about to die on you. We drain your air system completely. We drain all of the water out of your entire tractor. We also service the bunk heater. You should be turning your bunk heater on about once a month and burning it out. If you don't turn that bunk heater on once a month, even in the summer, that diesel in that heater is going to turn into a sludge. And when we finally do need that heater and we turn it on, it's not going to work because we didn't process that diesel out every month year round. So if you haven't done that, you may have an issue with your bunk heater getting clogged up. And then the last thing that we do is we test your coolant and make sure that your coolant is actually rated for the extreme cold that you're going to be experiencing out there. So we've got 4 main terminals that you can do this winter prep package at. Here, obviously in Springfield, Missouri, we do it. We also do it in Salt Lake City, Pittston, PA, which is Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Northeast Pennsylvania, and then the last terminal, our new terminal in Manuka, Illinois, which is just south of Chicago. So any of those 4 main terminals, you can get this done at. That's all I've got to say on winter driving. Stay safe out there. It's going to be a cold winter. It's going to be a lot of snow. If you haven't experienced it before, it's going to be a little overwhelming, but you're going to be great. I appreciate all you do. Stay safe out there. Thank you.